What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Weatherman said 8-mile-an-hour winds. It's gonna be a little bit windier than 8-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know how my little John boat's gonna do. Got my guy Brando.
What's happening, fishing friends?
He might have to tow me. He's got a nice larger John boat. He got out here and said, "You want to just jump in?" I said, "Nah, it doesn't look that bad." I probably should have just jumped in. So we'll see if we can find anything. We're gonna try to get on some topwater. I don't know with all these waves and such if we're gonna get that. So enough talking, start fishing?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now this is what we call innovative. Do I claim it?
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I'm on the board. I got our required Debo dink out of the way. Oh man, well, squirrel on the rocks. This guy was ambitious. My first catch of the morning. Hopefully they get bigger from here on out. Thanks for eating, little guy. Dink of dinks. Okay, that's a fish though. Squarebill on the rocks. Anything else up here around these rocks? With orange monofilament. I found some orange monofilament. I figured I'm gonna try it. Let's see. There's one. Little guy again. All right, well, looks like a dink fest for old Debo today. There we go, number 2 on the day, tiny. There we go. Oh! There's one. Better one, it feels like. Better than the other 2 I had. Here we go. A little 1.5 around the day. My biggest one that I've landed. Gosh, he's chunky. He's eating. Oh, I wish I could have caught that other one on the frog. That was a good little fish. All right, there we go. My chunkiest one of the day. Nice little fat 1.5-er. See if there's any more on the rocks with the squirrel. That's awesome. Yeah, it's easy to get addicted to frog fishing. Seriously? Well, I think this is why we call them Debo dink fests. There he is, barely bigger than my squarebill. But I think I get more bites like when I run fluoro, but I mean I'm running orange mono on this and they've ate it, so the clearer the water, the more I believe it. Huh? But I just prefer fluoro usually. Like especially if I'm around wood and stuff. There's one. Oh man, he smashed it. Man, he hammered that. Little dude. Little dude, and he destroyed it. He was angry at that crank. All right, there we go. Little pounder. Nothing of size today, but we're still catching them, dang it. Go. Squirrel. The old squirrel's been the deal today. That's a little custom paint job of mine. Was just supposed to be like a Kind of a dirty shad. Seems to be doing the job.
Today's session of fishing with Brando. Why you should always take time to get everything set.
Dude, I know. I'm guilty of it too sometimes. And I hate myself while I'm sitting there trying to get ready. There's one. Best one of the day for me, I think. Nope, still just a little pounder. All right, well, took a little bit of a break, a little bit of a lull there, but there's one more on the old crank. I have, yeah. All right, there we go. Chunky little pounder, he's eating at least. See you, dude. Dude, I'm not very good at catching things other than dinks, so I figured after you fish with me, you'd be like, okay, this guy only catches half pounders, I'm out. All right, fishing friends, well, that was interesting. Got checked by the DNR, and as you can see, I got a written warning. Luckily, he was cool about it, but boat horn or whistle, I got an equipment violation warning. If y'all are on a boat, you have to have some sort of device like that. I've got an orange whistle. Thought it was in my bag, but it's not. So luckily, he was a cool dude. I thought I was recording. I was gonna get it on camera, but luckily, he just gave me the warning. I got to put that whistle on my life jacket. That's what Brando did. I mean, that makes sense. If I have a life jacket on and I'm drowning, it's not going to do any good in the bag in the boat. So otherwise, it's been a slow day. I guess this is going to turn into a video of just throwing the square bill and seeing if fish will eat a crankbait with orange line on it. I've got about, let's see, how much visibility do we have? See my lure there? And it's gone right there. So about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet of visibility at most. And all these fish I've caught on the square bills with this orange monofilament. This is that trilene, I don't know what it's called, trilene sensa something. I got some orange and green just to try it to do some testing. Does it matter? And I really got it for topwater. I didn't plan on throwing cranks, but I put it on this reel, put it on my crankbait rod, and by golly, the dinks here eating a crankbait with orange line. There's one. Little guy. But that's a fish. Another fish eating a crankbait with orange line. Boy, he is upset about it too. There we go. It's been a day full of Debo dinks, but it's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, well, why are you going to be making fun of my John boat when you got a John boat? You should be sticking up for me. There's one. Ah, there we go. Decent little fish. Oh, look at this. Looks what's sticking out of his mouth. This is why you always check out to see what's inside of the fish's mouth. Look at that. See those crawfish pinchers? Got a crawfish right in there. All right, there we go. Well, I don't know, over a pound, pound and a quarter. We'll take him. All right, fishing friends, that was the end of the trip. Fun day of catching, just couldn't find any of the bigs, and that's okay, you know. Not every trip that you go out, you're gonna be catching your new PB. Some days you don't catch anything, you get skunked. Sometimes you just catch a bunch of dinks. Now, the interesting thing was I caught all my fish that day using orange fishing line. Now, this happens to be the green color there you can see. I picked up the green. This is Berkley Trilene Sensation. I picked up the green and the orange just to kind of mess around to see. You know, it begs the question, does line color really matter that much? I personally think it does. I think you get more bites in certain situations. I know there are smally guys up north who swear by light line, you know, light line and tackle. If you're trying to go big, heavy, big lures, big line, those fish are going to get scared. They're going to get line shy and zip out. On the other end of the spectrum, I've got buddies who use only braid. They think the sensation, the benefit of the nose stretch and braid, how sensitive it is, how sensitive it is, outweighs the actual sight, you know, the fish being able to see the line. I don't know. Had I been using fluorocarbon that day, would I have got more bites? Would I have got bigger bites? Does it matter for the size of the fish, for the line color? You know, those younger fish, smaller fish, maybe they're not as wise to the line color or being line shy. Those bigger fish are. I hear that a lot too. A lot of questions, a lot of thought into that. So I thought it was fun just to kind of mess around with that. Probably going to try out the green too. It is a cool color line, but it's mono. So I could use this for topwater. I don't know what else I'm going to try. Does it matter in some conditions and not others? I personally think it matters a lot more in really clear water. Maybe it matters for some presentations and not others. You know, I use 65-pound braid for frogging, but that's also over slop and stuff where they don't get as good a look at that. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting concept, interesting question to talk about. Comment below and let me know what you think. Now tonight's subscribed fishing friend is my guy Brando. You saw him at the beginning there. It's hard to kind of get him on video when we're in two separate boats like that. You know, a lot of the times he was kind of in a different spot and I was fishing and catching stuff over here. So it's kind of hard. But Brando, thanks for going out with me. I appreciate you. You're a good cat. I appreciate you still fishing with me even though I caught dinks that day. And a huge thanks to everybody else who continues to watch and support me on this channel, whether I'm catching Debo dinks or Debo donks. All of you that support me, subscribe, leave a thumbs up, comments. It means a lot to me. It helps my channel. Like I said, it's done far more than I ever thought possible. That's because of all of you. So enough for me tonight. I need to get to editing. Thank you all for watching, and until next time,